Hey Hofstra fans, welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. I'm Tom Brady now with the pleasure to be joined by the head coach of the Hofstra women's soccer team, Riddiough. Coach, thanks so much for joining us today.
No, thanks for having me, Tom, as always.
Now, Coach, last week we started to talk about this past weekend's slate of games, a couple of games down in Lubbock, Texas at the Red Raider Invitational. Started off pretty good Friday night, a very thrilling victory, 2-1 over Texas Tech.
Yeah, it was awesome. They had a huge crowd, 1,200 fans, a lot of hostility, a lot of atmosphere, electrifying, and a very good team. So they battled, and they gave us as much as we could accept. Our team was organised, we worked hard, we hung in there, and we found a way to get the win, which is very important for that kind of environment.
I'm sure you would have been happy with the tie, but what was the feeling on your bench after Laura Green scored the penalty kick in overtime to give you guys the win?
Yeah, it was awesome. Me and the assistant at 90 minutes said, you know what, 1-1 after 90 minutes is a pretty good result in this kind of atmosphere, and we would have taken that. And then when Brittany Farriello got taken down for the PK, we were in a little bit of a disbelief. We didn't think the referee was going to call it. It had to be a stonewall PK for him to do that. A couple of things had occurred before that, but he called it. And Laura Green, under quite an immense amount of pressure, it took him about 2 minutes for her to blow the whistle so she could take the PK. Fans going crazy, coaches going crazy, and she scored. And the team kind of lost a little bit of its decorum, and understandably so in the environment we were placed under. And they let loose party style. It was exciting. I had to get them calmed down and organised and cool down, and then we can act like professionals. And eventually we calmed down and did the right thing. But it was a very difficult environment to be placed under, and to come out and win it in those kind of situations was fantastic for the team.
Now, the other goal scored by a freshman, Sam Scolarici. What does it say about her to get her first goal in that type of big game on a Friday night, and what have you seen from her so far this season?
Yeah, we just got previously maybe 30 seconds before, and they called it back because they said the ball was over the line, end line. So then we got the corner kick and scored from that, which was a nice finish to it. Sam, she's gradually getting better and better as the games go by. We have belief in her ability, but I'm not sure if she did from the get-go. So we've persevered with her, even when she probably hasn't played as well as she needed to. We've still kept belief and confidence in her, and I thought we saw some fruition of that this weekend. She's still not the finished article by any stretch, but she worked hard and she did what we asked her to do, and we started seeing spurts of what she's capable of. And it was great to get that first goal, and she had a couple of chances in the second game where in a little bit more fortune, she'd have got a couple more goals this weekend. So we're getting there.
They bring up that second game against TCU. Seems almost a little bit remnants of Fairfield. It seemed like you guys dominated the shots, maybe had the edge in corner kicks, but somehow you still came up on the losing side of a 1-0 game. What happened there?
Again, it's the second day of a weekend. Our depth is not as good as I would like it to be, and we missed one of our special players, and because of that we had to rely on other players to step up. And even so, we still dominated play, we still controlled the rhythm, dictated play, created opportunities, numerous corner kicks and quality chances on goal, a couple of one-on-ones, crossbar a couple of times. We just wasn't sharp. We're not clinical, and when you're tired you kind of make some bad decisions in good areas, and that's what happened. They got in behind us the one time and made it count, which is, I would have liked us to have done it early on in the game, but unfortunately it's not meant to be, and hopefully that's the last time we're on the end of that type of game. But it is soccer and those things happen.
You mentioned you were without a special player. Brittany Butts was in the lineup for you. neither was Amber Stubbs. How much do you think not having those two players in the lineup affected the offense?
Well, again, you've got a depth squad, a depth chart going on, and we've lost 3 very good players in the past 2 weeks. In that situation, Brittany Butts will be back, but Amber's going to be out for a while, and Danielle Marino won't be back this fall. So you're losing 3 players who were coined to be a midfield or forward line, and when you lose 3 special players or players of special calibre, you're going to struggle. And we did a little bit. We weren't as dynamic as I would like. We weren't as decisive in the final third as I would like, and that's what Brittany Butts brings. But hopefully Amber will be back by the end of this season and ready to go. And if not, we'll redshirt her. Butts will be back this weekend and ready to go also. So it is what it is. We know that going into the game on Sunday, but we still did enough to win the game. It's just that we didn't, so no excuses really.
Now, as a coach, how do you make sure your players don't lose the great performance that they put on Friday night, maybe with a frustrating defeat on Sunday?
It's a tough one. Overall 1-1 this past weekend was probably a fair record, and I would have probably taken that before we left for Texas. The girls show desire, they show dedication, they show commitment to the cause. They follow the game plan perfectly. We didn't play particularly well Friday, but we hung in there and showed the intangibles which you're going to need to win a conference. On Sunday we played much better, but didn't really show the intangibles in front of goal. So you want to combine both performances, and hopefully by this Friday when we play Harvard, and by the following week when we play James Madison, hopefully if we can combine both intangibles and performance as well as desire, well, we're going to be in good stead. So overall, pretty content with the weekend. Would we have liked to have finished as the champions? Yes. Would it have been a great confidence boost? Yes. Now we're questioning ourselves a little bit. But questioning at this stage of the season is not a bad thing. I think it almost keeps us on his toes and almost makes us work a little bit harder as we move forward.
Now you mentioned the game against Harvard coming up this Friday. A very tough team from a very tough conference in the Ivy League. Also, it's your last non-conference game, so how much juggling still will you be doing trying to find that exact lineup that you want heading into conference play versus trying to get a good result against a good team?
It's a fine balance. You want to get a good result. We don't want to go 0-2 in the last 2 games. We need to bounce back. So we will be going for the win. We will be going to give Harvard as much as we can give them. And it's a good Harvard team. They just beat UConn this week, so they're flying high as well. And we're playing them in Boston, which is never easy. So we will be there to play. We will try and iron a couple of things out ready for conference. We will try different people in different spots to see what that look like. And if we can balance it perfectly and get the win, then we'll be very happy. But again, same as last week. If the kids show desire, if they put in the effort, if they work hard and do what we ask, that's all I can ask. And this team's not let me down yet, and I wouldn't expect them to let me down in the future.
Now, of course, you had maybe a tough travel weekend this past weekend. How important is it for your team to stay fresh? Only 1 game this week at the end of the week, and then a full week off before you got to take on JMU.
Yeah, originally we were supposed to play Yale on Sunday, but for whatever reason there was a miscommunication and they dropped out last minute. In hindsight, it's probably a good thing now. We can kind of lick our wounds and get healthy, get everybody fresh. It gives us 7 full days to prepare for James Madison and start the conference off as fresh and as intense as we feasibly could. So in hindsight, it's probably been a better situation for us. We play in Boston on Friday. We'll get back home late Friday night. Hopefully traffic is kind to us, and then we'll probably give them Saturday off, work them hard Sunday, and then start preparing. And I think we've got a good starting 11 who can compete with the best in the conference. And if we get a couple of lucky bounces, we can do well again.
Now, Coach, one final question. right at the end of the non-conference slate, about to head into the conference slate in the coming weeks. What are maybe the one or two things that you think your team needs to iron out to get to that conference form?
We're dangerous on set pieces, but we're not effective on set pieces, if that makes sense. We always think we're going to score on a set piece, whether it's a deep free kick, whether it's a quick corner, whether it's a regular corner. Unfortunately, we haven't been effective yet. Dangerous, yes. A lot of oohs and ahs when they get the ball in the box, but not really as efficient as we would like. So that's one thing. Defensively, I'm pretty content and comfortable with what we're doing, how we're pressuring, where we're pressuring, positionally where we need to be. Offensively, I thought we got away from what we wanted to do this weekend. We need to start getting into a rhythm and understanding what our roles are offensively. And I think the next 2 weeks prior to the James Madison game, we'll get there and we'll understand what each player's roles are individually, and hopefully get the freshmen acclimatised with the senior class and get them understanding each other a little bit better.
All right, Simon Riddiough, head coach of the Hofstra women's soccer team. Thanks for joining us today inside the W. Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.